So we got a request the other day to speak more about manifesting and attracting an SP. So I sat down and I come up with some things that I would do in my experience and with what I know now on how to attract an SP. Okay, so the first thing I would do is I would make a list of what you want from an SP. What are the things you are looking for? For example, what do they look like? How do they carry themselves? Whatever it is that you're looking to attract. And when you make that list, be certain to write down the things that you want and not the things you don't want. Be specific about your desires and because when we write down the things we don't want, we can also attract those in. Okay, so the next thing I would do is focus on yourself. Get to know yourself, spend time with yourself. Go out and do some hobbies, maybe go out with your friends. And when you do go out with your friends or do these hobbies, don't have the expectation of meeting someone. Take that focus off attracting an SP and put it on yourself. Learning to love yourself and get to know yourself. One of the things I would do is if there was a movie I wanted to see, I would go by myself. One of the important things to do is start enjoying your own company. Go out and learn to dine alone. And when you're there, don't pull your phone out to look busy. Be in the moment and observe your surroundings and watch other people and other couples, and maybe you'll get ideas that you want to put on your list. The great thing about watching other couples is, sometimes we will lower our expectations because we are only familiar with the love that we've received. And when you notice other couples, don't feel jealous. Don't feel jealous like, oh, I'm alone and they have something. And, have gratitude that there's love like that out there, that it exists. And that'll start to attract what you're looking for. Because the more you focus on finding an SP, the more you're telling the universe that you're lacking, that you're not enough. So, and you will continue to get exactly what you're focusing on, that lack. So, I really highly recommend doing that. Spending time getting to know yourself and your desires. All right, I got to put this out there. You know that old saying, you complete me? Get that out of your head. Because really, your SP should be an expansion of you, not what completes you. You should be complete and feel whole before you even meet them. And when you do, you're going to find that they will complement your identity and you can become one. But until then, you need to feel like you're enough. So when you feel like you're enough, the universe realizes that you're believing in yourself and you're going to attract that energy and that person to you instead of showing lack and create resistance. Okay, so now you've made your list, you've put your desires out there and just let it go. Let the universe, let spirit, source do their thing. Don't try to control it because the more you try to control it, the less it's going to come to you. And remember, and this is important, you're going to be tested. There will be people that will come into your life and you're going to be tested to see if you will go into that relationship because it's the old familiar. It's that old familiar love that when you believed you weren't worthy and you accepted things that you didn't really want and you thought, you know what, that's okay. I'll just change them. Once we start dating, that'll drop off. That's not going to drop off. Don't entertain anyone who doesn't meet those expectations on your list. And I'm serious. If they don't align with what you're looking for, then don't even entertain it. Don't think to yourself, well, it'll be okay. Later on down the road, once we fall in love, things will get better. They're not going to get better. And you're not allowing source to bring in the exact desires that you asked for. There's billions of people in this world, and now the internet has made it so much simpler to connect. So don't sell yourself short. Don't settle. Let source do what you asked for. You put your desires out there. Now sit back and let it happen. Release that control. 20 years ago, when I met my husband, Boyd, we met on eHarmony. I had a friend of mine who kept telling me I should join eHarmony, and I just wasn't ready. I put it off for a long time. I wasn't even looking for a relationship, really. I was just looking for some other adult conversation. So I opened up an account with eHarmony, and I don't know if it's still around or not, but it took like 2 hours to fill out this questionnaire that they had. And I really thought about those questions because I they were things that I never thought about. Things that I never realized how important they were in a relationship. And one of the things was you could put down like how many miles around you that you wanted them to live. And I had put down, I think it was like 30 to 50, something like that. It wasn't very far. And I got sent Boyd's profile. Mind you, he was outside of the area that I had put in my application. However, we were 93% matched. 93%. And I think that's why they sent his profile to me. So we were busy. He was a single father, had full custody of his son, and he was working full time, doing things at church, playing music, had his own life. He wasn't focused on finding an SP. And I was working full time, and on Saturdays, I went to school full time. I was going back for my bachelor's degree, so every Saturday from 8 in the morning until 2 or 3 in the afternoon, I had school. So I wasn't really focused on finding my SP. So, and I think that really helped. We weren't focused on it. We kind of put our desires out there and we attracted each other. And for the first month, we talked on the phone every night. We were too busy to actually get together and meet each other in person. So every night at 9 o'clock, because back then, you had to wait to a certain time, so you would be charged less for your minutes. We would get on the phone at like 9 o'clock. My kids were little, they were in bed, and we literally would talk every night till like 12 or 1 in the morning. And we did this for 3 to 4 weeks before we actually met in person. And we were married within 2 months. So, this doesn't happen to everyone, but I just wanted to give you an example of what's possible when you put your desires out there and don't focus on them. When you start to really, learn to love yourself and realize the things that you desire and what you want out of a relationship. And you don't have to shrink yourself in order to make that relationship fit for you. Think big. Think big. Because the universe believes you're worthy, and so should you. I'm thinking I'd like to make this a series. Not, just a little mini series. And if you would, maybe you could put a comment down below and let me know if there's something that you would like to talk about, something you'd like to hear. I would really appreciate that. Maybe we could do a couple videos and, talk about those things. All right. Thank you for spending time with me. I hope you have a great day.